The JagdTiger 8.8 was gifted to me by a viewer. He actually didn't gift me the tank, he gifted me the money to buy the tank because for whatever, typically don't accept gifts on my account. But, you know, when someone pays me and tells me to buy a tank, I'm pretty much obligated to get it. So I bought the JagdTiger 8.8 without any inclination to do so myself. This thing actually sucks. But alas, I finally decided to buy this thing, and today I'm going to be playing it for the guy who gifted me this fucking piece of shit. I have played 3 games in the JagdTiger, and this is actually a really good map for the tank. On a map like this, you want a corridor where you can distance yourself from the enemies and use the 3500 DPM. And this is obviously, look, we're on Mannerheim line. They've got a whole team, and that should win the south. And once they win the south, they have an open field to cross. And this is a situation the JagdTiger is designed to take advantage of. Now, this thing sucks in every regard. It used to be the case that this was a decent blend of like sniping capacity and brawling capacity, because you used to have the armor to brawl and you used to have the accuracy and the DPM to snipe, and so it's like you could perma-track things up close, or you could sit in a bush really far back and make it work. Nowadays, the armor on this tank sucks. It only works if you're long range and hull down, because otherwise a lot of tanks are more accurate nowadays and they can just snipe your lower plate basically. So this thing sucks armor wise unless you're fighting tier 6s, and even then most of them are mobile around to get around to your side. So you cannot trust this thing's armor. Now, when sniping from a position like this, I can just show you how to play this, because if you're in a medium tank, you do the exact same thing. Basically, my advice is knock over a tree, this one right here, and then knock over these other trees, because you want, these just have to be knocked over basically, and they will make the position a lot easier to play. So knock this one kind of forward in case someone were to start to run up. You want an escape, and these trees will kind of give it to you. Now, the JagdTiger's a long tank, but you can see this bush is solid for me. The only risk of getting lit is if someone pops up here, and they don't have anything doing that right now, so I'm fine. Now, we've got this epic accuracy, and you can see I will not be able to reliably hit this guy's turret. I don't even have to have this bush solid right here. I'll just show you. Oh, that one goes in, of course. But you see how big this circle is, right? Basically, if I try to hit something specific, it's very unlikely to actually hit the guy. Of course, I get lucky the second I mention it. Now, their 34 is going to poke up. He's going to be hull down. He's going to be out of range to spot me if he decides to try. And so I'm just going to have to reverse if that becomes an issue. But ultimately, this bush is good. And if we start to lose the south, I just reverse. Now, it looks like, if you were to look at the map, we're going to lose the north. So from a strategic perspective in a slows tank, the second this T-54 mod 1 dies, I'm going to have to get to a position to defend the base, because this thing is so slow that I'm going to have to call that like a minute and a half before it actually happens. It's not like in a medium tank where you're like, shit, we've lost the north, I need to go find a position to defend. In this tank, you have to move way before that actually happens. Now, this is just sniping. We'll see if that E75 pushes up. T-34 is not doing anything either. Honestly, I don't blame him. We have a lot of tanks camping back here, but they should really start pushing something, and that's when my tank is going to be able to use its DPM, because people pushing are a lot easier to deal with in a tank destroyer. E75 TS. Yeah, I don't have shots in these guys. It's no problem. We'll just have to wait a bit. My tank can definitely end game carry on a map like this. There's some maps that's really hard to make happen, but patience in this case is actually pretty intelligent. There's a lot of good sniping positions, basically. Okay, now they've got this Lynx pushing in. Progetto's starting to kill that Lance in. And there's a T-77 pushing up the second I want to leave. Okay, so this 77, he's outside of this circle on the map, right? So I can shoot at him from here. And you're going to see this DPM put to use. So shot doesn't go where I want it. This guy's obviously looking at me. He's going to blind fire, in my opinion. The armor is fine to trust against someone blind firing. It's not as bad as a Leopard 1 or something, where if someone points their gun at you, you have to get safe. But here you go. This guy just fired. I think he's an American autoloader. I don't know anything about the 77 just yet. Looking at the north, I don't have to go back yet, but we're definitely going to lose that. Put a shot towards this guy. That one goes in. Eating my words with the accuracy here. Maybe I just got lucky in some of my other games. And that's actually 400 damage. So considering that almost no one has died, not a bad start for a tank destroyer, which is going to get most of its damage end game once you start losing flanks. Now, we still haven't lost the north. Okay, so looking at the map, Samua's falling back, 34's full, not surprising. Their Artie hasn't done anything to this guy. That's their Artie's fault. He should be focusing. I'll hold down 34. This guy just got spotted, and he's able to get out before I can turn my tank, which is fine. Now, this LT, look at his rotation. He's coming down. He's going to spot me, so I have to fall back. Because what will happen is when scouts get spotted here, they move to this area to try to spot, and that's going to fuck up my position entirely. So here he is. I'm going to keep reversing just in case. I can still get reasonable shots from back here, not as good as original. And this guy get a shot into him. Perfect. So I'm going to keep falling back. I don't have Sixth Sense, so I don't know if I got spotted. I'm going to have to assume I did. If this guy runs after the ELC even 90 YOLOs him, I'll have another shot. And there you go. Artie shoots at me instead of a hull down T-34. Idiot. Now, looking at the map, we're not losing the north yet. There's a WZ who actually just pushed in. There's not another Artie, so I'm not going to heal the sun or anything like that. This is where you start to rotate. Because they're starting to push through. They're going to YOLO the 54 mod 1, who's probably not full HP anymore. And this is how slow this tank is, right? There's almost no rotational capacity. So you wouldn't necessarily want to commit to the south on a map like this, because if you have to run away to defend or because you're losing your side of the map, there's no chance. And so starting off where I did gives me the flexibility to take the strongest base defensive position on this map, and I might actually be a bit too late. Damn. I might be too late here. We'll see. We're going to get up to where the T-92 is. I'm going to shoot on the move. At least this thing has good shooting on the move accuracy. Okay, it looks like we're in time. That mod 1 hasn't died yet, and from here, if I can... I'm actually just going to sit in the open and take these shots. Am I? Yeah. If this guy pokes... Shot out, okay. Now this guy's unspotted, and looking at where our team is, no one's going to spot this guy. So I'm going to continue moving because there's a small window to get here, basically. And what will happen is if I'm too late, I'll die. So the Lynx clearly has spotted me. I can't take forward to get shot by this WZ. Okay, so we're not ideal, but I'm going to get hull down. We're going to see if we can make this work. Fuck's sake! So stupid. Why when we have a hull down 34 is already shooting at me? I'm going to have to find a position where I'm not spotted, actually. That's the only way to make this work. I think this is my last game in this tank. It's so dumb. Lanson's going to light me. We're going to lose the south, and I'm going to have to try to farm. This bloody tank is so bad. Okay, so we're defending the one line. I wasn't mobile enough to get into position. You can see I was right about the mobility. Someone just shot at me. I hope I don't die. Climb the hill as quickly as possible. It's like driving a T-95. The Lynx won't spot me, which is actually really good. We're kind of now in a carry situation, and I should be able to render people pushing in. Looks like I don't have shots from where I am. Maybe I have shots from this right here. So we'll see. What is this tank, man? Okay, IS-3 is getting in. Across the field before I could rotate. Maybe the Artie's position will be the best. E-75 right there. No shots. Dude. I can play a Scorpion G, no problem, but this German Heavy sucks. Okay, they're going to start sending that Canonian Jagdpanzer in as well. They also have that T-34, so I'm going to rotate back to here. This bush, actually, to try to get shots in this IS-3. Now, looks like I don't have the gun depression. Okay, we're going to make these shots. Hopefully they go in, and we'll see if that 34 gets spotted. The main thing here is to actually stay unspotted, because Artie's obviously focusing me down. Bounce the IS-3. This is actually where HE... I regret not carrying HE here, but maybe I can go into this accuracy. Look at this. We're not even hitting him. Okay, maybe here? Oh my lord. He's not moving. Maybe a shot will go in. I'm just going to keep pumping out shots because maybe I'll get lucky. I'm watching the one line because we might lose that. This guy should have fallen back by now, and he has. Amazing. Okay, so SU-130 should get flanked by someone. That 34 might push in too. I'm in a good position to deal with either, in my opinion, because I can always fall back and make this bush solid if someone pushes into the SU-130. The only thing is Artie. I have to work around the fact that we have Artie right here. So it's not perfect, but it's also not the worst. I don't even need to use the bush to shoot at the 34. He's so far away. And we're going to see what the hell their Canonian Jagdpanzers do, because if I were them, I'd be using my mobility and flanking through the north, and I suspect that's actually what they'll do. They might come through the mid. That would be really bad for them. It would screw me over, but on average, you wouldn't expect a Canonian Jagdpanzer or Charioteer to make that type of play. So we're going to sit here, see what we can find, and if they get into the open, it'll take me a minute to kill all of them if they're on full HP. The Charioteer's definitely full HP, so we'll see what happens. At least we're alive. Hopefully we can work around this RD2. If the RD dies because I get spotted, that's gonna suck. Oh no, the SU-130's leaving. That's not good. He was actually in a really good position where he was. I don't know why he's doing what he's doing. Now the SU-130 just got spotted, so why did you do that? Okay, so hopefully the T-34 is not moving. Okay, so the Su-130 pinged up here. Not surprising. The T-34 just died, so opens up a shitload of space for me. The Su-130 is not spotting anything. Hopefully he gets rushed. He's safe in his bush, actually. And there's the Canonian Jagdpanzer. So take a look at this. This is where the DPM works. I should be able to get a second shot into this guy before he falls back. Perfect. Now, he's falling back. I'm going to hold right-click here. And hopefully the CDA can spot something. I would expect that charioteer to actually become an issue, so I'm going to fall back a bit. If the CDA spots the charioteer, I won't be surprised, and he hasn't. So that's actually great for myself. I want to knock over a few trees. I actually want these big ones knocked over so I can use them. There's a Canonian Jagdpanzer, so hopefully I didn't get lit. Okay, so we know exactly where they are. There's no one flanking us, so I don't actually need to use the position I was thinking of. This guy might be here. So I'll put these shots out. I would be pushing if I were him, especially with my teammate where he was. These aren't going in. I'm going to shoot like this. This is kind of whack, but I think it's not a bad idea. Okay. And we do have 438 meters view range, so I should be able to spot things reasonably well for a tank destroyer. The problem is spotting things well for a tank destroyer isn't saying much. Now, if I fall back further, I will start losing shots. But I'm worried that something's going to come up the middle of the map and try to flank the team. So what I'll do is I'll wait till something is spotted, and then I'll make a move, basically. Because what happens here is I need them to get stuck and, like, kill themselves on the CDA. It's the only way I think we can actually win this game. So, no. The Artie is actually spotting, but I don't know what his view range is. I'm going to trust his view range here. I think it's the right play. We're going to fall back further. And I just need to get ready for shots and make sure I don't get lit. So I'm going to make sure I'm abs. If the Artie doesn't shoot and stays dark, that would be perfect. I suspect he won't do that, but whatever. I've got the gun here, so it actually makes the most sense for him to light, and he's doing the right thing. Charioteer. God, this tank fucking sucks. Why am I playing it? Okay, so that's the game. 1,000 damage. Yay. Whatever. Fuck this tank, man. There's nothing to say about it. I lost credits blind firing at the IS-3A. Ridiculous.